And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, again with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League and another episode of these 2022 playoffs here. And a huge game here in this Game 3 between the Stars and the Monarchs as this divisional round continues. You might see some of these divisional series games or divisional series in general finish out here today in this episode. We'll just have to see as we are back into the action here and back into some baseball. And, you know, this series has been really exciting so far. It's been the best of the four that we've really seen to this point in the divisional round, as we saw a win on the road by Kansas City in Game 1, and then we saw Nashville respond back with a victory in Game 2. Absolutely needed it. And now the series shifting here to Kansas City, and there's a look at what we've seen in this series so far. A lot of offense in this series. 10-8 in the first game, 9-8 in the second game here. So, you know, can the pitching here show up in any way? We'll have to see. Zach Gallen is going to be on the mound for the Monarchs here in this one. Game 3. This is the fourth playoff game for Kansas City so far. And, I mean, we'll have to see. This is, you know, fascinating series to this point. We've really seen these two offenses excel so far and some really close finishes. So here we go into this one. There's Zach Gallen's numbers on the season. 33 starts, a 4.17 ERA, a 1.41 whip. Definitely a little high. I mean, almost gave up, you know, same amount of strikeouts as he did, or hits, I mean, as he did innings pitched. But here we are into this game. We're going to go into quick managing here, at least for the beginning, until we, you know, if we want to hop into it at some point. But Santiago Espinal leads off, and Santiago Espinal is 0 for 12 to begin the playoffs. That certainly is not going to help him a lot, and he's probably not going to be leading off for this team much further in this postseason. I don't know. I think I moved. I don't know if I moved him from that leadership, from the leadoff spot immediately after this game happened, but yeah, that is not good for your leadoff hitter to be hitting like that, as Paul Goldschmidt in the top of the second inning launches a homer. I believe his second of the playoffs there. I didn't actually see that, but big home run there. Now Max Kepler. Max Kepler is going to get a base hit here. He's going to get a single RBI. That's his third RBI of the postseason here. And 0 for 13. As still no hits there. Alex Dickerson, I mean, we've talked about him a ton in this series. He gets a single to lead off this inning. Tom Stella gets a base hit. There's a sac fly for Bobby Witt Jr. That's the second sacrifice fly that he's had in this series already. Antonio Senzatella on the mound right now for Nashville, who was, you know, again, a trade piece that Nashville got at the trade deadline. And so now it's Mike Trout. He gets a double here, but J.D. Davis thrown out at the plate on that one. That was Paul Goldschmidt's first home run of the playoffs, actually. Francisco Lindor launching a 3-run homer. That's his second of the playoffs. That one was massive, and it's a 5-1 lead for Nashville. My goodness. The offense off to a huge start in this game for both teams. Jose Abreu getting a home run right there. 5-3, and man, another offense is kind of, I mean, off to a hot start again tonight in this one. So can either of these pitchers settle in? That was a good clean inning by both of them. Here is J.D. Davis. Gets that fly on. Mike Trout up, now batting .273 after that double. Kyle Schwarber, I mean, went into that at bat batting .500. Okay, so neither of those pitchers gave up anything in those last couple of innings, but it looks like to the bullpen, the Monarchs going to go here in this spot, and they're going to bring out Joe Pyops. This is his first action in the postseason so far. Goldschmidt gets a base hit, but then he gets the next 3 outs in a row to finish off the inning, and that's a pop-up of Alex Dickerson. There, couldn't do anything, and there's another 0, so 6 innings for Santantella is pretty darn good, actually. Santiago Espinal gets a base hit. That's his first hit of the postseason there, like 14, 15 at-bats in to the playoffs. And how about 7 innings? Okay, 7 innings for... 7 innings for Santantella in this game. Really good stuff, actually, from him. They're going to go to the bullpen here in this spot and bring out Paul Fry, who's, you know, got a really high ERA because he gave up a run and really, like, he's only gotten 1 out. He gave up, like, 2 or 3 runs. But here's Brandon Nimmo coming up to start the bottom of the 8th. The offenses really started out hot in this game. They haven't done anything in a while. I mean, the last runs that were scored in this game were back in the 3rd inning. Here's Jose Abreu, who's 5 for 12 in this series with a homer and 4 ribbies. Had that home run today, and he's been a big key in this postseason so far for the Monarchs. But there's 2 down in this inning. Paul Fry is going to come at Abreu here, and it's a slider. That is a little infield ground ball at Espinal. Santiago Espinal there at third base takes care of it. And a huge 0 by Paul Fry. That's a hold. And now the Stars here, well, can they add on to their lead? You know, only gonna be up by 2 if they can't do anything. Here's Dylan Floro. Gave up a run so far in his 3 innings of work, but 3 strikeouts to no walks has been pretty good out of the pen so far. And here's Paul the Young. 0 for 2, not batting particularly amazing in the postseason so far for Nashville. That one misses inside. Count is going to go full on him here. As we'll see, Floro's got the pitch signal here, and he's going to miss with a sinker just outside. So Paul the Young will get on base, and now here's Max Kepler. He's 1 for 3, 3 for 12 with, you know, homer and 3 RBIs in this series. He had his RBI in this game, and he's going to swing and miss at that sinker way down in the dirt. And that was a pretty filthy pitch there to him, and now it's Manny Pena, batting .333. He's 0 for 3 in this game, however. 1 and 2, and he's going to swing at a 4-seamer down near the dirt. A couple of really good low pitches by Dylan Floro there, and actually they end up going right immediately to the bullpen. I guess they only wanted him to have that 3-batter minimum, but they go to Zach Davies, and Zach Davies gave up a run as well in his, you know, 3 innings of work, but I think he's only given up like 1 hit there with that average against lefties sitting at 0, and the average gets raised at 143. So here's Santiago Espinal, raised his average onto a whole 0.067. That's a fly ball, and that's caught by Yonan Alvarez in left. So leadoff walk, nothing happening for Nashville in that inning otherwise. Dickerson, LaStella, and Bobby Witt here coming up in the 9th against Trevor May, who got the save last time in Game 2, despite giving up a home run to Tommy LaStella back in Game 2 of this series here. But, you know, we'll see. 3 strikeouts in that inning. 5, 6, and 7 for the Kansas City Monarchs, trying to avoid what would be a really big home loss. Here in Game 3, that's a fly ball. And Trout on his horse here, he's going to make that catch. He's got plenty of room out there for a big out number 1. So now there is 2 outs in the inning, and here's Bobby Witt Jr. He's 3 for 12 with a homer, a couple RBIs in this series so far. And now it's down to him. Last strike now, 1 and 2 pitch. It's a swing and a miss. A slider way outside, and Nashville wraps up a humongous Game 3 victory on the road. So that's a big win. I mean, you got to win one of these games on the road for sure. Of course, if you're Nashville here, and that was a big one right there. 5-3. And, man, I mean, the offenses really didn't do anything of note after the 3rd inning. All the action happened in the first few frames of this game, and Antonio Santantella gets a win. So you see the trade for him paid off in this game in particular. He gets the win. Zach Gallen gets the loss. Trevor May, the 2nd save of the playoffs for him. And a 2-1 series lead for Nashville. So let's look at this line score here one more time. Francisco Lindor, the player of the game for Nashville in this one, 2 for 4, had a big time 3-run homer in this one. And let's look at this box score. As Nashville, you got Espinal 1 for 5. I mean, these averages pretty good besides Espinal, but I mean, Schwarber's batting 455. Goldschmidt was 2 for 4 in this game. He's batting 385. Lindor is batting 417. He's got 5 ribbies already in this postseason. Pena's still batting over 300. I mean, these hitters right now for Nashville, J.D. Davis batting 273. Batters for Nashville right now are doing really good. Kepler and Goldschmidt got RBIs as well in this one. And you look at the pitching, and I mean, that's what you want. That's what you ask for right there from Sensatella. Not a huge strikeout guy, not a guy that's going to absolutely dominate most of the time. But 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, no walk, and 5 strikeouts is really good for him in this start. Fry got a hold there with pitching a scoreless inning, and then Trevor May, 1 inning, a strikeout there, and a second save. And then you go to Kansas City, and, you know, everybody in this lineup, basically, besides Bobby Witt and Trent Grisham, got a hit tonight. Nola's still batting 375, but Abreu got his first homer. He's now got 4 ribbies. Bobby Witt Jr. got a home run. Dickerson did get a hit in this one, not nearly as a successful of a night for him as, you know, we've seen him have in the rest of the postseason so far. But Abreu's batting, 353. And this lineup is hitting the ball pretty well also to start the postseason. But, the pitching, I mean, this was their best pitching that they've had really in this series for Kansas City, but it still wasn't incredible. I mean, Zach Gallen, 5 runs in 5 innings, 7 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts. Not an amazing performance out of him. Joe Payamps had 3 really good innings of relief, and the bullpen did their job, didn't give up any runs at all. But, the offense here for Kansas City just completely stalled after the 3rd inning in this game. So, Nashville gets a big win there. Now we're going to go to the other National League divisional game, and the Bees here ahead 2-0 over the Arrows. So the Bees looking to clinch this series here. Now, you will notice there's not actually audio in this clip. I don't know why the audio, when I recorded this gameplay on my PlayStation, I don't know what I was doing, if I was playing something else in the background or something, but there is not any actual game audio that I got from the PlayStation. On this game specifically, there is some audio playing in the background, but it's just audio that I collected and I got from the other game that I played later on in this episode in the other series that we had. So, yeah, the audio in this game is going to be a little bit wacky and kind of weird. It's not going to totally match up with what we actually see happening in the game, so just don't mind the audio differences and kind of some of these audio inconsistencies. I do have that same issue that ended up happening when I recorded some AAA or some AA postseason games as well. There is one game in particular in a AA playoff game that I recorded that I want to bring as an episode to you guys next time here, or a couple of episodes from now, that also didn't record the audio, so we'll just have to make it work. But anyway, here is Miles Michaelis, and remember, Bees got him in a trade here, and it's going to be up to him to try and save the season for the Bees, and he was absolutely incredible after this team got him in that deal. He was having a pretty good season up until that point. He was having a over 3 ERA, but then he finished with a 2.6 ERA, which is wild. So, again, just keep in mind the weird audio here. This is not, you can kind of hear some of the sounds of, the hits and stuff in the background here, but it's not going to match up perfectly to what you're actually seeing in this quick manage. But here's Dylan Cease, 4.21 ERA and a 1.47 whip for him this season. He was alright as a starter this year for the Arrows, but both pitchers in the first inning didn't give up any damage. And, big time win last time for the Arrows. They got the lead in the 8th inning, and they have a 3-run homer here by Danny Jansen. Huge swing right there, as 3-0 for Indianapolis already. Fletcher gets a base hit. Dom Smith cannot add on, but a big 3-run 3rd inning there after that swing. And now it's Miguel Endura batting .571 in this series so far. That's kind of crazy, but Vladdy is going to launch a homer. That's his second of the playoffs. And, man, Indianapolis kind of jumping over Miles Michaelis right now at the moment. They're up 4-0 already here. That's a big couple of strikeouts, though. And just gets out of that inning with just that one run allowed. But there's a double Herrera. He flies out. He's actually having a pretty decent start to this series. But there's a strikeout. And, you know, the Bees offense, this is the biggest thing that I was concerned about with them. It's not been that good so far. But, man, their pitching here in this game has just not done anything. Miles Michaelis has really struggled. That's his 9th hit that he's given up now. Gives up a base hit to Fletcher. There's a walk and another base runner. And, man, we're only in the 4th inning. He gives up another single here. And already almost, you know, low on energy. We're going to have to go to the bullpen already in just the 4th inning. Wow, that was a really rough start for Miles Michaelis in that game. That is disappointing to see a guy right there that you traded for. You really counting on him in an elimination game. And he puts up a dud like that. Now 2 runners on, and now the bases are loaded. David Fletcher doesn't have an RBI yet, batting .556 in the playoffs right now, but great RBI chance. They're going to bring in Peter Fairbanks for this choice. Okay, there's a sac fly, adding on another run. I mean, it's just been at least 1 or 2 runs here for the past 4 innings now. That's the first run for Salt Lake there, a home run. But, man, 7-1 game. As there's another run, Teoscar Hernandez doubles in Joey Wendell. Then on the corners, oh, he needed to get something else there. They cannot. So 7-2 here in this game. And, okay, good outing there out of the bullpen. In relief, there's a big 2-run home run by Elias Diaz. So, okay, the Bees are trying to make a comeback here right now. They're only down by 3 at the moment. Pedro Baez comes in the game here in the 7th inning in a 7-4 lead. There's a walk and another hit. So, man, on the base pass, there's a big strikeout of C.J. Cron. And with Teoscar Hernandez coming to the plate, we're going to hop into this ball game here now. Teoscar 2 for 9 had a big home run in game 1 of this series. He's got 3 RBIs in total in this series here, but Baez is going to run that pitch inside and hit him. Actually, it's DJ Stewart that was batting right there, and so they're going to go to the bullpen again here and bring out Brian Abreu, who had an inning of relief already in the playoffs. He got a strikeout, but also walked a guy there, but didn't give up a run. And how big of a spot is this? Bases loaded, 2 men out, a 3-run game. Luis Torrens comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3 in this game today. And he checks his swing, but he goes around, says the home plate umpire there. So now the count moves to 1-2. Very early on that swing timing. Biggest pitch of the game. Brian Abreu comes at him with a 1-2. It's a fly ball over to right. Marcelo Zuna is going to get there. Makes the catch. And a huge threat by the Bees there goes and is gone, and they don't do anything with it. Wow, that is a huge blow to their comeback chances. Now he's Miguel Andujar. Really good series for him up until this point, but he's 0 for 3 today in this ball game. He takes that slider low and in the dirt. As Cole Sulser on the mound in this 8th inning for the Arrows. He had a fantastic regular season. 3-2 counts. And it's there on the corner. A slider for strike 3. Man, I mean, just a perfect pitch there right on the corner. Cannot place that baseball any better than that. That was a fantastic location by Cole Sulser. So now 4 outs to go. And here's Elias Diaz. He's had a good game today. 2 for 2. A homer, a single, 2 ribbies. And had that home run, I believe, back in the 6th inning in this one. And here's the 0-1 to him. It's a line drive. Mullins on the move. Mullins makes the catch. And yeah, that ball was really hit hard. It just could not find a spot in the outfield. And now the Bees are down to their last 3 outs. But let's see if the Arrows can add anything else to this lead. There's Evan Marshall, 40.1 innings for him, a 2.68 ERA. He was fantastic out of the pen for the Bees. And here's Danny Jansen, 2 for 3, big home run in this bowl game. 0-2 to him. It's a swing and a miss and a fastball. That's the end of the top of the 9th inning. And here we go to the bottom of the 9th. Bees are down to the last 3 outs, looking to avoid being swept. But, you know, 1, 2, 3, so I got the top of their order coming up. It's the best part of their order that they can have, facing Garrett Whitlock. You know, this is the guy that they know they're going up against in this situation. 2 for 2 in save attempts to this point. He's only given up 1 hit so far in 1.1 innings of relief. Here's Nick Madrigal, batting .250 or only this in this series here, 0 for 3 tonight. An 0-2 pitch to him here, and there's a line drive, ground ball, and into center field for a single. So there's a hit, and yeah, you need base runners right now if you're Salt Lake for sure. That's a big one right there. Now here's Joey Wendell. 1 for 3 in the game today. There's a ground ball right to second. They tag the runner for the out, but they can't get Joey Wendell trying to go to first. A kind of an awkward play right there, but Fletcher at least to get the lead runner. There's 1 out. Here's now C.J. Crone, who's really not done anything in this series. There's a ground ball to second for 1 to first. It is a double play. And the series is over. The Arrows complete the sweep here of the Salt Lake City Bees. They're the first team to clinch a spot in the championship round. So, man, a big road win for them. In this one, the offense was really active and early all night. And congratulations to the Arrows here. Yeah, I mean, I felt Indianapolis was the better team in this series going into it. They were definitely the favorite in this series here. And they showed out in this series. Big, 3-game sweep. So they don't know who they're going to play yet, either Kansas City or Nashville. But we do have one team that has now officially punched their ticket into the next round. And you see the pitching, or see the hitting here for the Arrows. I mean, Dom Smith batting .385, Mullins .257. Guerrero had a couple of home runs, including a really big one in Game 1 of this series. Mark Cannon batted .273. I mean, David Fletcher .455. So the offense here really, really good for the Arrows. Smith had 3 RBIs. Jansen had 3 RBIs in this game, 4 total. Lux had 3 RBIs total. Dylan Cease was pretty decent. I mean, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not too bad, but the bullpen for Indianapolis has kind of been their secret weapon. It's been really, really good. Baez gave up, didn't go hit and a walk, but didn't have any runs charged to him. Abreu got it out, didn't have any runs charged to him, but then Sulcer and Whitlock there finished the deal. And you look at Salt Lake's lineup, and just not enough production here. Madrigal, 1 for 4, batted .308, but he didn't have a home run or an RBI at all. Joey Wendell only had like 2 hits all series. C.J. Crone had 1 hit the entire postseason. Hernandez didn't do much outside of his home run that he had in Game 1. Torres, 1 for 4, only batted .167. And Duhar was 0 for 4 in this game. And Duhar and Herrera were 2 guys, surprisingly, that did really well, actually, offensively. And Diaz did really well in that Game 3 there. But overall, offense just didn't produce a lot. And the pitching in this game, I mean, Miles Michaelis he just really struggled. 3 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs. That is pretty bad there. I mean, the bullpen, for the most part, besides giving up a run in there by Lamet, wasn't terrible. But, yeah, Salt Lake, I mean, you lose your best offensive player like they did in that, going into the postseason. That's going to be really hard for that team to overcome, and they just could not overcome it. Speaking of hard to overcome, it's going to be hard for the Raptors here to overcome this 2-0 deficit that they face in this divisional round series. We go to New York. We're in a Honey Badger Stadium here in this Game 3, and the Honey Badgers, man, the surprise story of these playoffs so far. The wildcard team has blown a couple of big punches already to the team. the best team in the AL, and they have the Raptors on the ropes. 5-1 in Game 1, 9-4 in Game 2. So neither one of these games has been particularly close. And, you know, we've seen dominant pitching all postseason so far from the Honey Badgers. You know, Luis Gil is going to come out and pitch in this game, and Luis Gil definitely struggled this season, was one of the worst guys in this rotation for New York, but you're up 2-0 in this series. You know, you don't need to go back to Carlos Rendon right now, so might as well. This might be more of a bullpen game, more of a quick pull for Luis Gil if he gets into trouble. You know, 1.51 whip for him, 162 innings this year, a 4.65 ERA. He's a young pitcher, and, you know, he just didn't really do very great in his time at the starting rotation. But we'll see how this game goes here, and here's Brian De La Cruz. Batting .500 at this point in the playoffs here. But, you know, we've talked about Seattle's lack of offensive production in this series. Some big superstars not doing what they really need to do. But Brian De La Cruz has been, you know, 4 for 8 in this series with a ribby. So he's been doing well, but we'll see how this game goes. Juan Soto only has 1 hit to this point in the playoffs here. Jared Walsh only has 1 hit so far. As top of the first passes, nothing happening. Here's Griffin Canning as he gives up a single to Yelich. There's a 2-run home run by Aaron Judge. Oh, my goodness, that's the Judge's 3rd homer of the playoffs, I believe. His 3rd or 4th. There's a single by Austin Riley. That's a strikeout of Miguel Cabrera. So 2-run to bottom of the first. And, I mean, Aaron Judge, he has been incredible in this series. Xander Bogaerts smashes a home run. That's his 2nd straight game here with the dinger, as he had one back in Game 2 as well. 1-2 game. There's the first hit of the series of the postseason for Nick Solak there. As 1st and 3rd, they don't get any more. Don't add any more to that lead or the offense there. Ha-Seong Kim batting .545. He's batting like .600 now after that single. Christian Yelich has been on fire in this series the last few games. That's a walk. Bases loaded here for Jeff McNeil. And they're going to go try and get a sac fly, and they do just that. Aaron Judge has 3 homers and 8 RBIs right now. That's impressive. 3-1. There's Andy Benintendi crushing a triple. So he's now only 90 feet away. Here's Juan Soto. Grounds out. Can't score him. There's a double by Jared Walsh. His 2nd home run, or 2nd hit of the playoffs. Here's Xander Bogaerts back up again. It's a 1-run lead. Strikeout there. So bottom of the 3rd. Austin Brown. Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 11. There's his first hit of the playoffs. He is finally on the board in the hit column. 1 for 12 now. And 1st and 3rd again here. That's a strikeout. Oh, man, that was a huge K. Before a follow, and another huge strikeout. No runs there by New York in that bottom of the 3rd inning. That was clutch. So we're in the 4th. And not quite a 1-2-3 inning. We haven't seen that so far today. That was a runner thrown out at home plate. Okay, man. Ha-Seong Kim got on base again. Alrighty. And that's a double play. That might actually be the end of the line for the pitcher here for Seattle. I'm not sure. That's a big home run by Juan Soto. It's his 2nd homer of the series, and we are tied up now at 3 apiece. So there's a strikeout. Can Gil get through 5 innings? He gives up a triple here to Xander Bogaerts. He does get through 5 innings. Wow, okay. And a pitching change now. Only 5 innings for Canning. There's a solo homer. Immediately given up to Aaron Judge by A.J. Minter, who's got a 36 ERA right now. Oh, my goodness. And, man, how incredible has Aaron Judge been? That's his 4th homer already. Now it's Austin Adams who comes in to replace Gil. 3-4 lead for New York. A couple of runners on here, though. Brian De La Cruz is up. That's a ground down. Andy Benintendi. 3-run homer. Big swing. His first couple of ribbies in this postseason, in this series. And now Seattle's got a 6-4 lead. This is more like what we're talking about here. Finally, some offense showing up now for Seattle in this game. They got 11 hits and 6 runs, so bringing on Alex Colomé, but he immediately gives up a double here to Jorge Alfaro. Jalen Miller strikes out. Ha-Seong Kim also strikes out, but Christian Yelich, huge series continues for him. That's a big 2-run homer. It's his first homer of the playoffs, I believe. And that ties the game. It's 6-6. Does get out of that inning, but man, okay, back and forth have these two teams gone tonight. This has been an exciting one to this point. Justin Steele coming out of the bullpen for New York. He's, got 3.1 innings now of scoreless relief on his belt in this game. Colliers Jr. comes out. He's pitched 2.1 scoreless innings, and he gets a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. Yeah, we got to hop into this ball game right here, right now. Top of the 8th inning, a tie game at 6 apiece. Here's Nick Solak. He is 1 for 9 in this series. But Justin Steele still pitching as that's a fly ball. The Yelich out there and left, and it's caught for the first out of the 8th inning here. And yeah, Justin Steele has done his job out of the bullpen right now. He's been really effective, and here's Brian De La Cruz. 1 for 4, had a big double in the 4th. 2 down in the frame here. Still trying to get through, and over 4 innings. And that's a ground ball right to Jalen Miller. Easy play there to end the top of the 8th. And crunch time. This is the closest that we've seen any of these games in this series become here. Bottom of the 8th, 6-6 tie. So out of the bullpen comes Reyes Baranta. 2 innings for him already in this series. 1 strikeout to 2 walks, but he hasn't given up a hit yet, so he's been effective to this point out of the pen. 1 down in the inning, and here's Jalen Miller. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 2-2 is a slider swung on and missed. Big time strikeout, and the second of the series for Maranta there. Man, that was just a filthy pitch. Not what that Jalen Miller could do with that one right there. So 2 down in the inning, and here's Sawsum Kim, who has been really, really effective and surprisingly good in this series. I mean, this postseason for him has been a pretty good shock. He's 5 for 10 in this series, 2, double and an RBI. He's batting like basically 500 overall in the playoffs so far. And 0-2 to him here. He's going to swing at a slider way inside. Maranta's got it. He's going to have to work quickly, and he gets the out. That was actually a great play right there by Reyes Maranta. So we're going to go to the 9th inning now. And 6-6 is the score. Oh boy. Fantastic finish we were set up here for, and here's Kirby Yates. We haven't seen him in a minute. We haven't seen him in this postseason since the wildcard game when he got that save. And here's Andrew Benintendi, who's had a fantastic game, a homer, triple for him as well, 3 for 4. And he's going to pop this slider up. That was an inside pitch, and he pops it right up to Jalen Miller. So now there's 2 out in the inning, and here's Jared Walsh, who's only 2 for 10 in this series. Does have a double and an RBI in this game, but, hasn't been nearly as good as you'd like him to be in this postseason so far. That fastball does just catch the top of the zone for strike 2. So what is Kirby Yates going to come at him with here on this 0-2 count? He's got the signal, he's got the pitch, and here it comes. It's a high fastball, and it's a swing and a miss. I mean, not much of a surprise, honestly. That is a perfect strikeout pitch, and New York has the perfect lineup here to go into this bottom of the ninth to walk off this series. 1, 2, and 3. Here's Oldest Chapman coming out, and 1 inning of relief in the playoffs so far. 2 strikeouts to no walks. Effective inning of relief for him to this point. And we know he's pitched a lot of high-leverage playoff games before in his career. Here's Christian Yelich. He's batting 375 now in the playoffs. 2 for 3 in this game! That was a filthy slider, though. And, man, what a location by Chapman here. Let's look at this pitch one more time. Yeah, just fantastic. I don't really like that angle of the pitch when they show it that way, but yeah, that was filthy right there. Now Jeff McNeil at the dish. There's a line drive, and McNeil's going to drop that one into the outfield, and he's going to have himself extra bases. He's going to go into second sliding. He's got a double, and that's the winning run in scoring position for New York for, guess who, Aaron Judge. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs in the playoffs, 2 for 4. He's got 2 home runs in this game. He's 5 for 12 overall in this series. Just fantastic numbers. As big full count pitch to him. It's a swing and a miss. Four-seamer. And Chapman just struck out the biggest hitter in this lineup. Right there in a huge spot. Way underneath that pitch was Judge. And man, I mean, Travis Giordano understands the significance of that pump in his fist. Not out of it yet. Austin Riley's going to swing at a splitter way outside here. And there's the end of the 9th inning. Good work by Aroldis Chapman to wiggle his way out of that double in the 9th inning. And so we are going to extras. The second extra inning game that we've seen in the playoffs. The first one since the divisional round in Game 1 between the Stars and the Monarchs. Fantastic Game 1 that was. That's a ground ball to Miller. And that's out number 2. So Seattle's offense here, I mean, they've been pretty effective in this game, but the last few innings haven't found much to work with. And here's now Travis Giordano. He's only 2 for 11 in this series here. And the 2-2 pitch to him is a ground ball to Miller. And that's another play. He's made like 3 of them in the short time that we've been in this game. That's out number 3. And Cabrera, Laureano, and Alfaro will come up here in the bottom of the 10th. Here's Miguel Cabrera, who is not a great 1 for 11 in this postseason so far. 0-2 to him. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and Cabrera looked like he was way early on that pitch. Actually, let's look at this pitch again to see where his timing was at. And yeah, he was way out in front of that fastball right there. I mean, the ball isn't even into the picture basically when he's done with his swing. So that was, you know, fantastic pitch by Chapman, and now it's Ramon Laureano. Hasn't done anything in this bowl game. He's 0 for 4 so far tonight. And, you know, he's 4 for 13 in this series with a double and 2 RBIs. Pop out into the 7th inning in his last plating. Was not stripped to the plate here. Chapman coming at him with a 1-0, and it's a 4-seamer. It's a strike there at 97, right on the corner. So now the count moves to 1-1. Chapman here coming set. Here comes the 1-1 to Laureano. It's a swing and a drive deep to left field, and there it goes. It's gone. Ramon Laureano walks the game off. The New York Honey Badgers are moving on to the ALCS. Ramon Laureano with a biggest swing is the biggest of his life. New York, a sweep of the top team in the American League. And, I mean, a story right now developing here with this ball club 4-0 in the playoffs to start. And the underdogs, for sure in this series, have just completed a sweep. A couple more looks at that swing by Ramon Laureano there. Wow, how about that? Fantastic game. First walk-off of the playoffs that we've seen to this point. And, wow, that ball was crushed. No doubt about it. And you get to see all these guys celebrating on the field here. What a story developing in New York right now with this ball club. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected this team to do this. I mean, moving on already, didn't expect a sweep, that's for sure. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of concerns that I had about this New York ball club going into this postseason. And, I mean, right now they are proving me completely wrong because they've gotten depth from their hitters to this point, really all across the lineup right now. And their pitching has been really good. I mean, what a game. 6-7 the final score in this one. And, man, let's look at this box score here. Yeah, Aaron Judge, player of the game. He had, 2 home runs in this one, 3 RBIs. Kirby Yates gets the win. The loss is handed to Aroldis Chapman. 1 swing of the bat ends Seattle's season. They had 97 wins, and their season is done and over. And, I mean, honestly, this was their best offensive game by far here, but the offense just didn't do enough in this series. Benintendi, yeah, this is really the only game he did anything. Juan Soto struggled in this series. Soto, Jared Walsh, both of them only had 2 hits, I think, all series long. You know, Bogarts didn't do a whole bunch, had a couple of hits and a couple of homers. But, you know, overall, just the offense for Seattle, really, this was their first game where the offense for Seattle was, you know, very effective, got a lot of hits in this one, got a good amount of runs, but just too little too late. You got to have, they had to have the bats wake up earlier in this series. And, you know, see a lot of ones there, a lot of firsts for a lot of these lineups and a lot of these hitters just because there was not a production in the first 2 games of the series. And, you know, the pitching for Seattle wasn't really that amazing either. Of course, game 2, they really struggled in the pitching department. Canning, only 4 innings in this game. Only gave up 3 runs, but didn't pitch very long or very deep into it. Minter gave up a lot of runs in his time on the mound. Colome gave up a couple of runs. And then Chapman, of course, gave up the big run in the bottom of the 9th. But you look at this lineup for New York, and we're seeing production from almost everybody here. Christian Yelich, fantastic divisional round. I don't know how many hits he got, but he was just incredible. He ended at 353 on the average and had his first home run of the series here in this game. McNeil was alright, but Aaron Judge has been unreal. 4 home runs for him, 9 RBIs already. Riley didn't actually do much in this series. He did have a home run in this series, but, you know, you got guys like Alfaro batting 353 or Lariano batting 353 and, you know, Ha-Seong Kim batting 500 so far. So, like, guys like that right now are really, they're showing up and they're showing out and they're really helping out this offense as the pitching has been just really good all postseason long for New York, really. And Luis Gil, 9 hits, that's kind of a lot, but he only gave up 3 runs. We'll take that from your number 5 starter. On Adams, yeah, I gave up 3 runs, so he struggled a bit, but overall, the bullpen for New York has also been very, very good. So, how about that? What a finish to this series. A walk-off win, a walk-off to send New York to the championship round, and, you know, we might only have one more divisional round episode left. We have, I mean, I can't spoil it for you guys exactly, but we'll continue the divisional series. Maybe we'll finish them next time, but either way, that is going to be the continuation of the divisional rounds. We'll have that for you in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. I just hope that you had a great week, and you have a great weekend here coming up. Thank you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, you know, continue to be notified when I'm coming out with new playoff vids. And I will see all of you in the next one. Have a great weekend, everybody, and God bless.